Hi, everybody. Keith Haring is our artist of the week. And he was born in Kutztown, Pennsylvania in 1958. And a lot of his pictures when he first started out drawing as a kid were telling stories. He liked comic book art, things like that. After high school, he went to art school in Pittsburgh for a year. He didn't graduate, but at the age of 19, he had his first one-man show. And he had enough artwork in the show to really get noticed. Now, when he was 20, he decided to move to New York City and attend the School for Visual Arts in New York City. And he also thought that, he could probably make it famous in art in New York City. And at the time, in the early 1980s, he was right, because there was not a very large artistic community here in visual arts community here in Pittsburgh. That has since changed. But when he was a young man, in order for him to become famous, he went to New York, and that's probably what he had to do. A lot of his pictures were very large, and they evoked images of people doing something. Now, when he first got started painting art, he was painting over graffiti that was on the walls of the New York City subway system, and the subway was littered with spray painted graffiti, and he would paint right over it. And people really liked his work. But the only problem was he was getting arrested for that, because you're not supposed to paint on the walls of the subway system. And his idea was, well, I'm making it better. Well, the judges were saying, and the policemen were saying, well, you're still doing something illegal. You're not supposed to be doing that. So after a while, after being arrested a few times, he decided to put his art onto canvas or into private collections, like murals that were in walls of like museums and art centers and things like that. Now, a lot of his pictures are of these faceless people. There is no face, there's no skin color, no hair color, no fingers even, and no toes, just people doing something. And you can tell they're doing something because you have the motion lines, like this one cracking something over his knee, or this one looks like it's jumping out of its skin, like if somebody ever came up behind you and you boo and you jumped. That's what that kind of reminds me of. This one here kind of reminds me of a cheerleader pyramid, because you have people that are being supported by the one down here, and you have all these other people like standing on top and being held up on top of people. And if you're a cheerleader, some of you kids are cheerleaders, you know how difficult that can be. So you have to be a strong person to be able to do that. And I think he was, maybe evoking a feeling of cooperation in this picture. Now, unfortunately, he became ill in 1988, and he knew that his time was limited. So he tried to do as many murals in different art centers and cities around the world, because people knew that he was sick and they wanted him to create some of his last works, which he did all over the world. He died in 1990. He was only 31. His mom and dad run his website, and you can buy Keith Haring images on hats, book bags, shirts. I have a Keith Haring watch at home. So you can actually buy his images in a mass market type of thing at keithharing.com. So it's nice that his mom and dad are able to run his website for him to make sure that his art lives on. So Keith Haring, our artist of the week. Now, what you're going to do today, you're going to create 4 figures, much like Keith Haring would do. You're going to draw them up with pencil, and then you're going to add some colorful background to them. And they have to be doing something. They have to be doing some type of work. So you can divide your paper into 4 sections, and you can get the idea that there are some things going on. This figure is doing something in these pictures, whether it's bending over or holding something up or getting ready to catch something, like if you're a catcher or if you play on a baseball team, you have to catch something. This one here makes me think of somebody who might be shooting a basket, like basketball. So the colors you choose will determine what this all looks like when you're done. So the colors that you choose can totally change the way a picture looks and feels. And the shapes you choose, the figures, the shapes of the figures that you choose and what they're doing can also evoke a lot of feeling too. So try and think of the things that you like to do, and you're going to come up with this kind of glorified stick man, but yet he's going to be doing something. And then do something colorful and really wacky with the background. And you can see how color can change everything in an artwork. It changes how the artwork feels. It changes how it looks to you, the viewer. It changes the response that you will give as the viewer. So there are lots of things that color can change in an artwork. So I hope you enjoy doing this. I hope you have fun, and I will see you soon. Bye.